Hi. In last video, we have seen virtual environment, base page, and Navbar page. In this particular video, we are going to focus on the login page. After creating the login page, we will focus on registration page and user profile page. But before going to create the login page in Navbar, I want to show some changes to you guys. So open the VS Code, and here this is my Navbar code. And if you remember, let me show you the code for the Navbar once. So this is our Navbar. But if you remember, in our demo, we have seen we have a black Navbar. So I want to change the color of this Navbar. So let's see how we can do. So simply go to the VS Code, and here I want to change the color of the Navbar. For that, I want black. For that, I'm going to take dark. Control S. Let me refresh. Yeah. So it is dark, but our content is not showing like help desk, home, login, register. It is there only, but it is not visible properly. So 1 second, let me do some changes. Simply copy this one and paste the in extra text underscore bgda. Control S, let me refresh. Yeah, it's working. So the same thing we need to do for the all. Simply copy this entire things and do one by one. 1 second. Then do for this one also. Then the same I want to do for these things also. 1 second. Copy this one. H2O. Then paste here. That's it. Let me refresh. Yeah, so it's working for home and login, but it is not working for register and drop down. So let me check 1 second. Yeah, so we have missed here. And then Control S. Yeah, the last one is the drop down. So for that also we need to do. Yeah. And the same we have to do for the action and action another and something else. I don't think for this we require. Control S. Same for something else also. For this one also left the remove. Now it's fine. So in the neighbor, we have a brand name, which is not a brand name. We can simply say it's application name only, help desk. Then we have a home. Then we have a login, register, and drop down. Right now, these are not working. These are simply a name. So we need to make it as a working. So as I told you, I'm going to create for login. So let's start. We will create for the login. So go to the VS Code. And one more thing I want to discuss with you guys. Whatever approach or coding standard I'm going to follow in this, the same things we are following in the corporate also. And one more thing, the file structure also, whatever I'm going to maintain or create in this particular project, the same file structure we are following in the corporate also. See, there is a different way of doing the same task. But as I told you, I'm going to maintain the Python coding standard, and I'm going to give you some tips. It means I'm going to develop this application in a very standard way, like how we are exactly doing in corporate. So don't be confused with other way of developing the project, because you might find different way of doing the same thing. Alright. So let's start. So we have a navbar, we have a base, and one more thing. This base.html and navbar.html page I have kept inside the templates which is created inside the my application, and my application name is nothing but the my app. And in my app, I'm going to keep all the project related templates or things. I'm repeating again. I'm going to store all the files which is related, or we can say which is common to entire project in the my app. So this my app I'm going to refer as the core app. Some people also giving the name core app. So keep in mind, this my app is nothing but the application in which I'm going to maintain or store all the project related common things, which is globally applicable to entire project. And for a more and for operation, we will create one more application, and in that we will store all the specific or related things to that particular application. So here I'm going to use the two different application, which is very good things. We are going to see how we can work with the multiple application in one single project. So I hope you clear what I'm trying to say. And this is I'm doing just because in the corporate, if you are going to be work, so you have to work on the big project, and big project have some standard file structure and coding standard. So at that time you will not feel what this what is this what is this, I'm not getting these things. No. So the way here only, so the good thing here only I'm trying to uh, show you the standard coding way. So we have created Navbar, we have created the base page. That's it. Next, we have to create the login page. So see, base page in the common, Navbar in the globally things common thing. So, and login page, registration page, change password, forget password. These are the project related things. So all these things I'm going to be stored in the my app. As I told you, in my app, I'm going to be store all the project related activity things. And many people, in place of my app, they are giving the name core application. So it's up to you. Whatever you want, you can give the name. Yeah. So the next things, I'm going to develop the login page. So let's start. So inside the templates, just right click, new file, and create one login page. Login.html. So we have created our login.html page. So this page we are going to refer for the login. So let me write some boiler code. Yeah. And here I want to take one h1 tag, and I want to write I am login page. Control S. See, for this I have written I am a login page. And if you see for the base page, I have written I am a base page. And after creating the HTML page, which is nothing but the template, and we have to create the URL for our HTML page. See, either you can create URL or you can create view. The order is not matter. As per your comfort, you can go with the order. So I'm going to create the URL. Come here in the urls.py file, simply copy this line. And see, this is the urls.py file, which is we have created inside the application, and application name is my app. And here you can see this one. So come here and paste. As I told you, I'm going to create for the login. So URL pattern should be login, and this one also login. The name, you can give any URL pattern name, and here also you can give any name pattern, but this should be meaningful. Because of that only I have given login. And here you have to write the views, which is you are going to be used for this particular login functionality. So right now I have not created any view, but I'm going to create the views. So for example, I want to give the name of my views login views. Control S. So I have created the HTML page. I have created the URL. Now the next things, we have to create the form. So let's, and let's see how we can create the form. So for that, inside the application, create new file, then give the name forms.py. See, what the people who don't know what is the form, so let me tell you, in the Django, we have a form concept, which is we can use for the take the input from the user. So the same thing I'm going to do here. But here, before going to use this forms.py file, we have to import the forms library. For that, from Django, import forms. So we are going to use this form library to create the form to take the inputs from the user. And what kind of input we are want to take? So we want to take the username and password from the users. Come here, then write one comment like login form. See, it is a good practice to write the comments. So because of that only, I am writing the comments login form. And then you can create one form for that. Take class, then give the name of this class. So I'm giving the same name. Come here. And we have to inherit this login form from the forms.form class. So let's do it for that forms.form. Now, in what kind of field I want to display to the user to enter the details. So I want to display the username and password. So for example, username equals to then forms dot char field, then label equals to whatever you want to display over the HTML page. So I want to display user name, comma, widget equals to forms, and second, forms dot, then we have to specify the input type. So I'm giving text input, then attributes equals to class in control, form and hyphen control. And one more thing, come in the view, then word wrap. So all the things should be come here. Then copy the same thing and paste here, or it can be as it is. Yeah. And in place of username, I want password. And here also I want password. And here in place of text input, I want password input. Yeah, done. Control S. See, this label is nothing but going to be displayed over the HTML page. And this is the type of this field. And this is the class I have added to look good. Even if you don't add this one, not a problem. It will work fine. So Control S. Yeah. So I have created the login form, I have created the URL, I have created the HTML page, but I have not created the view. Now I have to create the views. So let's create. So for that depth, then here we need to give the name of our views. So if you remember in the URL, we have given this name. So we have to use this name only. Then come here, then paste here. then default parameter request. After that, simply copy this one and paste here. And in place of base, I want login. That's it. Control S. But here one twist I want to show you guys. Control S. Open the browser. Yeah. So 1 second slash base. See, you are in a base page and it's showing I am a base page. Correct? No issue. But if you remember, we have created one more page, which is login page. And for login page, it is showing I am a login page. But for login page, our navbar is not showing. You see here, for the base page, our navbar is coming. But for the login page, 1 second, I will show you. For the login page, our navbar is not coming. Why? If you see the code, we have created login page, but we have not extended the base page. So we have to extend the base page. So let me show you how we can extend the base page. Come here, enter, take curly bracket, then take percentage sign, and the syntax is extends. Then you have to specify the file which is you want to extend. So in my case, I want to extend base.html. Control S. Come here. Let me refresh. See, our navbar is coming to the login page. But see again, here it's showing base page. But here, if it is a login page URL, then here it should be print login page only. Because if you see for the base page, see, for the base page, it is showing I am a base page, which is correct only. But for the login page also, it is showing I am a base page. Why? So this is the twist I want to show you. Come here. See, keep in mind, whatever things you want to display in all over the pages, that things you have to keep as it is inside the base.html page. But whatever things is the template or HTML page specific things, so that things you have to keep inside the one block. So let me show you what I'm trying to say. Come here, and this navbar is the common thing I want to display in each and every page. But this I am a base page, I want to display only for the base page. When I'm going to the login page, I want to display I am a login page. For example, in future, I'm going in some another page, so I want to display some specific name related to that page. So what I'm trying to say, whatever things is the HTML page specific, that things we need to write inside the block. So what is the syntax? Tag curly bracket, then double percentage sign. Then here we need to write block. Then we have to give the name to the block. You can give any name. In my case, I'm giving content. You can give any name here. And after that, copy this one and come here, and you have to write END, end block. Control S. The same thing you have to do for the login page also. Control S. See, right now I'm in login page and it's showing I'm a base page. Let me refresh. See, I'm a login page. And if I go to the base page, I'm a base page. So this is how you can fix this error. And this concept is known as a template inheritance. So if someone asking you what is the template inheritance, so this is what exactly we have did. This is called template inheritance. Yeah. So let's come to the VS Code and let's start actual coding. So we are inside the views.py file. Come here. Right now we have simply rendered the login.html page. We have not did any operation and we have not write any logic. Now I'm going to write the logic. So assume you have created login.html page, and here write if method if request.method equals to post. Don't be confused what I'm writing, why I'm writing post, this kind of things. Let it be. Simply understand what I'm doing. If request dot method equals to post. So what I want to do, I want to take one variable form equals to login form. One second, login form. And here I want to capture all the data which is we have in that particular post request. So what is the way for that? We have a request dot post. So this is the way to fetch all the data which is we have in particular request with post. And what is this login form? So this login form is nothing but the form whatever we have created here. So come here and you have, if you are using any file from outside that particular file, so you have to import that file. So what is the syntax? So from right now, this forms.py file and views.py file both are in the same folder. So we can write dot representing the current directory. So from the current directory, forms, I want to import what I want to import. I want to import this login form. Paste here. That's it. Then come here. So if the request.method is equals to post, and let me tell you one more thing. Post and get is the two method. And what I want to do, if the form, I want to validate if the form dot is underscore valid. This is the inbuilt method provided by the Django to check the whether the data, whatever user is passing in the form is a valid or not. So with the help of is valid, we can check. So if the form is a valid, what I want to do, whatever data I have in that particular form, I want to fetch and store in one variable. So what kind of variable? You can take any variable. For example, you can take a equals to and whatever fields you want to capture from there, but we should give meaningful name. So for example, from the login form, I want to fetch the data, and what kind of data I have in the login form. If you see the login form, I have username and password. So come here and take one variable. I'm taking username only. You can give any name here, not a problem, but only for the naming convention or like easy understanding, I'm using the user name. And what we have to do here, so from this form is nothing but this form only, and form dot clean, CLEANAD, clean underscore data. What I want, see, this clean data is nothing but the inbuilt method which is used to fetch the clean data. So this is the way to fetch the data from the form. So what kind of data I want to fetch? So if you see here, I have a username. So this one I want to fetch. Simply copy this one and paste here. Same thing, copy and paste here. And here this time I want password. And here also password. So the name, whatever you have given here. So the same thing you have to copy. If you given here a P, then you have to write P here. But in my case, I have given password, so I have given password only. And here you can give any variable, not a problem. But here you have to take the only the name, whatever you have given here. I hope you clear. Come here, Control S. Now we have to take one variable user. You can take any variable, whatever you want. And here I'm going to use the inbuilt library or method which is provided by the Django to check authentication of the user. So what is that library? That library is nothing but the authenticate. This is the library, and here it will take three parameter. First one by default request, then second one username equals to, then comma password equals to. And let me tell you, this username and password should be as it is, whatever I have written. And simply copy this one and paste here. See, if you written here user only, then you have to write user here. But here should be username only. Then password and password. Control S. Here you are using the authenticate library, so you have to import that library. So come here and from Django dot contrib dot auth import authenticate. This one, simply copy this one and paste here. And I need to import one more library, which is login, because this only we are going for the used for the login. Control S. Then come here and check if user is not none. It means if user returning something, so what I want to do, login request comma user. Control S. We are using this login inbuilt library, so because of that only we have imported here. Then after login, I want to display some message, so because of that only I'm taking message dot success, and whatever message I want to run. But before, I need to take the default parameter request comma, then whatever message I want to display. So I want to display congratulations on successful login. Whatever message you want, you can display. That is not a problem. Then come here. See, if user is not none, but if it is a none, means it will go to the else part. Then at that time, I want to show, simply copy this one and paste here. And here should be error. And I want to show like one sec here. User name or password not valid. This kind of message I want to show. And here I forgot one thing. After login, where I want to redirect. So after login, where I want to redirect. So for that, simply copy this one and paste here. And after login, I want to redirect to the base page. So because of that only, I have given base.html. And here, if it is giving error, so I want to redirect to the login page only, because again, user want to log in now if it is one time not login. Control S. I hope you're getting what I'm doing. So if user is not none, means if this user variable having some value, then it will come here and login request user, and it will show the message congratulations on successful login, and it will redirect to the page base.html page. And if it is not a valid, like if it is not satisfying this condition, then it will come here and will show username and password not a valid, and it will redirect to the login page again. So this is the things we have did when the form is valid. What if the form is not valid? So for that, I am not going to write any else. Let it be. So then if the request.method is the post, this entire thing is going to be done. Else here. 1 second. Else. And one more thing. Try to maintain the indentation. See, I'm writing else for this if, so both are in the same line. If I'm writing the if for this else, so both are should be in the same line. So follow these rules because it comes under the coding standard. Incorporate, like there is strictly they told you to maintain the coding standard. So maintain the habit from here only. So it will not a problem for you at that time. So see, I'm writing the else for this if. So because of that only, I'm writing in the same line. And what I want to do, if the request dot method is not a post, so simply copy this line, come here and paste. And if it is not a post, then no need to write this one. Then come here. And what I want to do, if it is a blank, then I want to redirect to the login page only. See, if it is a blank, it means user want to need to enter the data. Because of that only, I'm re-entering, returning this page to the login page. Control S. And let me remove these things. Control S. So finally, we have write our login view. Control S. And one more thing, let me tell you, there is a more than 3 to 4 ways to create the login functionality in the Django. So don't be confused if you say any another video. So there might be they are using the different way, and I'm using the different way. So don't be confused. All the approaches are the good only. It is as per your convenience. I'm using this way because whatever functionality in the future we are going to add, we are going to follow the same approach. So I thought let's follow this approach. So it will be the very easy to you understand all the functionality. Because if I create the login functionality with the help of some inbuilt another functionality, then might be some in future when we create the new pages, at that time you get confused. Oh, sometimes they are using this approach, sometimes they are using this approach. So I'm using the one common approach for all the functionality, all the pages, all the things. So it will not be confusion for you guys. So Control S, we have created the login view successfully. And here I'm using the message. So I need to import this one. So let's see how we can import. So yeah. So from django.contrib import messages. Here we are using this one. So we have to import this one. Then Control S. So let's check whether we have did all the things or not. So we have created view. Then we have created URL also. Then we have created form also. Here I have did one mistake. This should be forms. So 1 second. And here also I have did mistake. And here also I have did mistake. Yeah. So kindly correct in your code also. Control S. Let me check one more time. URL is okay. Then views is also okay. And here I need to add the comment. See, always write a comment, so avoid the confusion, because after some time you might be forgot why I'm using this particular view. So it is highly recommended, always use the comment. Yeah. So the next things we have to focus on the login page. So come to the login page. So this is our login page, and if you go to the browser, 1 second, see in the login page it is showing I am a login page, but we have created form, and in form we have two fields, username and password. So I want to show that two fields in the login page. I don't want to show this I am a login page. No, what I want to show the forms which is I have created for the take the user input. And what user input I want username and password. So come here, as I told you, we have created one form. So keep in mind, if it is a form, so in HTML also we have to use the form tag. Simply type form, and what kind of form you want. So we want post. Then come down,
control as, and here I want that two fields, username and password. So from where I will get, so come here, if you see in the forms.py file, we have created the form login form and we have a two field username and password. So if we come in the views.py file, we have imported that login form, and here whatever things we have in the login form, we are storing in the form variable. And if you see here, we are passing that form along with here in the login.html page. So simply copy this form and come to the login.html page and take double curly bracket and paste that form. That's it. This is the way to take the data from the views.py file into HTML file. See, this form is coming from this views.py file from here, and we are taking inside the login.html page. Control S, then go to the browser and let me refresh. See, I am a login page, username and password it's showing. But let me remove these things. Come here, and I don't want this kind of things. I want only login page only. Control S, come here and refresh. See, login page. But let me do some little bit changes. Yeah, now it's looking good. But this username and password, these things are coming from this form. Whatever fields we have taken here, it's showing here. And here you can see it's coming in U capital. So if you see here in label, we have given U capital, because of that only it's showing this one. So come here. Now the next things, we have to take one button to submit this one. So simply come here, or you can go to the Bootstrap and search for the button. Yeah, then here you will get different kinds of buttons. So for example, I want this one, secondary. So simply copy this line and come to the here and go to the login.html page and paste here, and in place of secondary give like what you can give like login. Control S, then come here, let me refresh. Yeah, login is showing, but 1 second, come here. Let me add one BR tag because I want to add little bit space. Yeah, now it's okay. And one more thing, this username and password, this field is not looking good because it's very long. So I want to shift to the middle. So let's see how we can do. So for that, I'm going to take one div, then copy this one, paste here, and here we need to define the property, whatever you want. Take class, column, then 8 offset -2. That's it. Control S, let me refresh, come here. Yeah, still it is not looking good, so let me adjust little bit more. Come here, and here for example I'm giving 6. Control S, let me give 4. Yeah, now it's looking good, but I want to shift little bit in center. So come here, Control S. I think it is a good. Yeah, now it's looking good. So we have a login page where we have a two field username and password, and we have one login button. So up to this we have did successfully. And anyhow, to register to log in from here, we need the user ID and password, but right now we don't have any user ID. and any password. So let's see how we can create the user ID and password. Come to the command prompt and type Control C, and here the command to create the user ID is python manage.py create super user. Yeah, so we have to give the username. So whatever username you want, you can give. So in my case, for example, I'm giving Rama. Then email ID is the optional, you can skip. Then password also I'm giving Rama. Then confirm password Rama. One second, Rama. Then enter Y. That's it. Then you have to run the server again. Yeah, come here, refresh the browser and log in with the Rama. If you see the password, see Rama only. Log in. Nothing is happening. So I forgot one thing. Come here, and here this one should be submit. Control S. Come here. Let me refresh the browser. Then Rama. Then password also Rama. Click on login. See, we have login, but the problem is that we are getting one error, CSRF token missing. So let me tell you one thing. In the Django, if you want to create any data at that time, and not only at that time, when we are using the post along with that activity, at that time we have to use the CSRF token. What is the CSRF token? The CSRF token is nothing but it is going to be generate a unique key, so it will avoid to hijack your application with any bad user. So let me show you how you can add this CSRF token. Simply copy these things and keep in mind where you are using the post method, you have to use this CSRF token. Simply come here and inside the form here, simply paste. That's it, nothing else. Come to the browser and refresh. Let me run again the server. Sometime it's giving problem. Yeah, then come here, come outside. Let me log in again. Rama, then Rama. See, it's login and it's showing I am a base page. Why it's showing I am a base page? Because if you see here inside the views.py file, we only have written after the login it should redirect to the base page. Because of that only it's showing base page here. But one more thing, here we have written one more line like message after login it should show congratulations on successful login. But if you remember or observe, we are not getting any message after login. Let me show you again if you want. See, this is the login page and Rama. I'm able to log in, but I'm not getting any message. Why? So let's fix that one also. Come in the Bootstrap and search for the alerts. See, Bootstrap is a very good thing. You need to simply copy and paste. That's it. So for example, I want this one, a simple warning alert. Simple warning alert. Are you seeing anywhere? Yeah, simple warning alert. But let it be, I will search for another one. One second. From here you can choose as per your requirement, so not a problem. I think this one is looking good. Yeah, so I want this kind of message, like format I want. Simply copy this one and come to the VS Code and go to the base.html page and This notification I'm not only going to use for the login page only. In future, whatever activity I'm performing, like when I'm creating the task, I'm deleting the task, I'm doing whatever activity, so at that time I want to show some pop-up message. So it means I want to use these things for all over the project. So because of that only, this code I'm going to be pasted inside the base.html page, and anyhow we are going to extend the base.html page in all the pages, so we will get that feature in all the pages. So because of that only, that particular alert code I'm going to paste inside the base.html only. But before going to paste, let me paste here first. Yeah, then come here, but I need to capture that message from my views.py file. So how I can capture? So simply I can take curly bracket, then percentage, then come if messages. What messages come here? Simply copy this name as it is, whatever we have written here, then come to the base, then paste here. If messages means if there is a messages, then what? So again take one curly bracket, then take percentage, then take for loop for each message. Let me copy this one only. Each message in messages, what I want that message to display. Where I want to display? Simply here. Let me remove this entire things. Yeah, this one also, control S, and here I need to close the for loop. So what is the syntax to close the for loop? Same, curly bracket, then end, then for loop, then one second, then I want to end the if statement. So what is the syntax? Same, similar, end if, control S. That's it, nothing else. Come to the browser, come here, click on login. One second. Something is happening. That username is coming in a bold. I think we have did something. One second. One second. Oh, sorry. Uh, Whatever things we are getting from the, we are taking from the views.py file, that things we need to write inside the double curly bracket. I'm sorry for that. So keep in mind, whatever things we are taking from any Python file into the into the HTML page, that things we need to write inside the double curly bracket. And this double curly bracket is nothing but the template tag. So come here, let me refresh. Yeah, and our username is Rama and our password is Rama. Click on login. See, congratulations on successful login. Then close this one. But again, there is a one problem. I will show you one second. For example, let me again log in with the Rama, and password is also Rama. See, after login now it is coming very large. I don't want that much large. So what you can do, come here, and if you remember in the login page we have written this line. Simply copy this one and come to the base page, and yeah, here you can paste this one, and from here to here, control S, come here, let me refresh. CSRF token, one second, something wrong we have did. Rama, then Rama. Yeah, now it's coming like congratulations on successful login. So I hope you're getting what I'm trying to do. Then come here. So our login part is done. So the next things, I want to add that login URL with this one. Right now it is not working. If you see, when I'm clicking here, nothing is happening, and every time I'm going to the login page through URL, but it is not a good thing. So I want to go with this login option. So how we can do? Go to the VS Code, then go to the templates, then inside the navbar, come and see here. Here what you have to do, take curly bracket, then inside the curly bracket take double percentage, then URL, this is called URL template, URL tag, template tag. Then here we need to specify in the single quote URL. So what is the URL for this? We have written login, and this login is nothing but to first control S, then come here, this one, not this one. This one and this one is two different things. See, this is the URL pattern and this is the name of that URL. Like here you can give any name. If you give here, for example, gin or not gin, let whatever you have given here, the same thing you need to give here also. But in my case I am given login, so because of that only here also I am giving login only. That's it. Control S, come here, then click on home or click on login. One second, let me refresh. First let me go one second, first let me go to the base page. Yeah, so I am on base page, then clicking on login. See, I am coming to the login page. So our login functionality is working fine. And one more thing, I want to add base page to this home. So how we can do? Simply come here. See, this is the home, and what you have to do here, simply take curly bracket, then take double percentage, then here URL, then in single quote you have to specify the name of the URL. So what is the name of the URL for the base page? It's a base only. Control S. If you come here, see, base only. That's it. Come here, let me refresh. See, after clicking on home, it's coming I am a base page, and after clicking on login, it's coming on login page. So thank you so much for watching this video, and please like and subscribe my channel. Bye.